Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Father.
Glory to Jesus Christ.
Glory forever.
So today is the feast of St. Barbara, and 2 days off is the feast of St. Nicholas, the day on which my father reposed, and very special and meaningful to me. So, by the way, happy name day, Barbara. So, St. Barbara the Great Martyr, and she is. So because we had the baptism today, the gospel's on the stand, but so her icon's the icon on the way in. And it's an amazing story. Just an absolutely amazing story of St. Barbara. So St. Barbara lived and suffered during the reign of the Emperor Maximian. So not too long before the era of St. Constantine came about, right? And Christianity was made legal. But nope, it was a few years before, and we had a lot of martyrs going there, and St. Barbara was one of them. Her father, Dioscorus, he is strongly felt that he was a strongly felt pagan. And one might recognize out there today, we have people who are pagans. They worship themselves, but they also try to get spirits to do their bidding, right? And who are these spirits that do their bidding? Who listen to them? They're fallen angels. As we know, the gods of the nations are demons. The gods of the heathen are demons. So her father was this big pagan. He was also rich and illustrious, right? So the pagan gods did him good. His daughter better follow in his footsteps and not be worshiping this one true God business. Right? The heathen gods, the pagan gods, made him rich. And his wife died now, and so he devoted himself to his only daughter, Barbara. Barbara had extraordinary beauty that people noticed. And Dioscorus decided to hide her from the eyes of strangers, so he built a tower for Barbara, where only her pagan teachers were allowed to see her. From the tower there was a view of hills stretching into the distance. By day she was able to gaze upon wooded hills and swiftly flowing waters and meadows covered with a mottled blanket of flowers. By night the harmonious and majestic vault of the heavens twinkled and provided a spectacle of inexpressible beauty. Does this seem like any modern story that you know the beginning of one? Rapunzel! Yeah. The real St. Barbara came before the fake Rapunzel. As we know, a lot of our fairy tales have come or been inspired by the lives of saints and morphed a bit. But soon she began asking herself about the first cause and the Creator. She knew that these soulless idols were merely the work of human hands, and that no other created beings, these other gods that her father worshipped, couldn't have created the universe. So she began to devote herself to the one true God who began to reveal himself to her. So her father thought she had lost her mind, okay? And it's like, what are you doing? Like, you're going to make the gods mad, and then all of our money's going to be gone. So he thought she was going crazy, so he let her down from her tower, right? And let her mingle. But God led her to have Christian friends. And these Christian maidens in the city, they taught her about the Creator of the world, the Trinity, and about the divine Logos. Through the providence of God, the priest arrived in Heliopolis from Alexandria, disguised as a merchant, and baptized her. And she would wind up going to her Lord in martyrdom, along with St. Juliana the martyr, for her faith. And does anyone remember what the word martyr means? witness, as a witness to the one true God, the Father, His only begotten Son, who is all fully good and life-creating Spirit. So I'd like to have the children come forth here. Younglings, come forth. Come on, right up here, right up here. There we go. Let's go ahead and sit down for a moment.
Why is there only one boy?
Why is there only one? There we go. There you go. Not just one. So today we're celebrating the feast of St. Nicholas, and here's his icon. So I was just speaking about St. Barbara, right? And so we're also celebrating St. Nicholas. And so St. Nicholas is also on the icon wall on the iconostas right up there. He's in like priestly robes, like Father wears there. So he was a bishop a long time ago, and he was a bishop in a country that's now called Turkey. Turkey. Yeah. And St. Nicholas loved little children, but he loved all people. And you know, his love for little children came to inspire something that came to be known as what? Who knows the answer?
Presents.
What? Presents? You know, maybe I won't treat this as an existential question. That would throw me off. But in a way, we'll get back to that in a second. It inspired, so here, I'll let you know a secret. Another, in Latin, the word Santa means saint. Claus, or Klaus, is German for Nicholas. Saint Nicholas. Santa Claus. So, Saint Nicholas is in heaven, but there's lots of people who do his work now, right? And not exactly like in the Santa Claus movies, but there's lots of people who do his work since then. And so they are Santa Claus after the model, hopefully, right, of the original St. Nicholas, right? St. Nicholas gave gifts to adults who needed it, to families who needed it. He gave gifts to them. And as bishop, he tried to use his resource to help little children like you who no longer had houses. Sometimes the houses got taken away by, back then they didn't have a lot of police protection, right? So all of us, we're safe because we live in a civilized society, but not always are other societies back then civilized, right? Didn't have a lot of protection. So St. Nicholas helped all of them too. So, we're almost coming upon Christmas. Christmas. So, what's Christmas about? Bingo. Were you going to say presents again? Guess what? Guess what, though? A present would be the correct. Christmas comes from two words. Christ. So Jesus is Jesus the Christ, right? Christ meaning the anointed one. Anointed by God. I'll explain it more to you later when we get a little bigger and we'll go into the first confession and stuff. But it means he's God, the Son of God, who came to earth and became man. Right? So he is actually, I'll be right back here. about whom Christmas comes. Christmas, Christ, and then Mass, meaning the liturgy. That's literally what Christmas means. Christ's liturgy, Jesus' liturgy. What are we celebrating right now? Liturgy, you're correct. Christ's Mass, Jesus' liturgy. That is what Christmas is all about. That's its central focus. It's not about us. It's not about others first and foremost. It is about kindness, gentleness, love, giving, caring, and sharing. But guess what? That all comes about because of the gift that was given to us on that day, and that was Jesus. Given to us for the life of the world, given to us that we might inherit an eternal kingdom. And so all the gifts that we give and we get, we hopefully give and get as gifts because we love Jesus. Because he first loved us. So what are we not going to be this Christmas? What are we going to give Jesus this Christmas? Love. Maybe we'll give him, instead of being selfish, let's say, what can we give him? Sharing. Yes, absolutely. Being kind and sharing, not stingy. Stingy means mine, right? Sharing with others, because he shared with us. Everything we have eventually is going back to God. Everything is eventually going back to God. So he puts it on loan to us. What we do with it is very, very important. Very, very important. So I want you guys to think for next week what you're going to write down, or help someone else write down, what you're going to give Jesus this Christmas, since he is the gift for us. And adults, I want you to do the same. We're going to hang this up, write it on a slip of paper. Only God knows that you put it on there. But give something. Tell God what you're going to give. Just fill out a little slip of paper, and I'll actually have slips of paper in the back. But you can, any old little slip of paper you can do. And put it in here. And we'll let Jesus know what we're going to give him this Christmas. For him giving himself to us first. All right? And we'll thank him for all things. And yet he gave us the things to make that. And the people who formed this into this. Jesus gave us everything. The clothes you're wearing, Jesus gave us the material for that. Jesus created the people who were able to create shirts. Could you make a shirt? I could. Thank God for those people. Thank God for the truck drivers who drive that to the stores for us. And the people in the factories who help all do all that stuff. Let's be thankful for all these things, but first and foremost, to all that God gives us. And to Mom and Dad who helped and assist Santa Claus. And to be grateful for all that we have. Does anyone remember what grateful is? That's what Thanksgiving was about.
Giving thanks.
Yep, giving thanks. Yep, giving thanks. Yep. Being glad for what we have, right? Being glad for what we have. Thank you guys for sharing with me, and we'll have a visit from St. Nicholas over in the hall after liturgy. I did want to look for it, but wait a second. It might be down in here. It fell off. So, yeah, that's the one. Yep, that's the one. Yeah, I have the screw up here. There we go. Oh, I think we remembered that this didn't work this way last time. Sorry, everyone, for the technical delays. We've had a lot of those today. But, you know how it is. You don't remember these things exactly from year to year. Figured out all the mistakes, and I'm not going to make those mistakes next year.